This video is going to give you 3 reasons on why we're not comfortable in social situations and ways that we can start being ourselves, ways we can start being our authentic self in these kind of situations.
Long nights and cold beds, breaking down.
What's going on, Expressors? My name is Caleb from A New Expression, where we help you become your best self and reach your full potential. And in this video, I wanted to give you guys 3 reasons on why we're not being comfortable in social situations and why we can't start being ourselves more. So the first reason on why we're not able to be comfortable with ourselves in these social situations is because we're not comfortable with ourselves. You know, that's the big problem. It's not that we're uncomfortable around other people, it's that we're not comfortable with ourselves. You know, we're not, and what does that mean? So that means we're not comfortable with our insecurities, we're not comfortable with our flaws, we're not comfortable with our personality, or, you know, there's a lot of aspects. And the reason why we're getting anxious and the reason why we don't feel like ourselves in these social situations is because you're not comfortable with who you are, okay? And you think everyone else is going to judge you, everyone is, you know, thinking negative of you. And that's why we're getting all, you know, tense, and that's why we're, you know, putting on a facade and we're not really acting like our true self. So in order to feel comfortable in these social situations, you have to start becoming comfortable with yourself. You know, you have to start accepting your insecurities. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge that you have insecurities. Acknowledge that you might have these flaws and start accepting them. Acceptance is what's going to make you comfortable with your flaws and your insecurities. Now, the second reason on why we're not comfortable in these social situations is because you're not pushing yourself socially. And that means this. This means that whenever you go into social situations, you're the one in the corner, right? You're the one that isn't trying to speak to anyone, isn't trying to start a conversation with anybody. You're trying to avoid every conversation that someone might try to strike up, and you know, you're going to the bathroom every 5 or 10 seconds or whatever it is. You know, you're trying to avoid these social situations, and that's running away from the problem. You know, you're not going to become better socially. You're not going to become more comfortable with yourself in social situations if you run away from the problem. You have to acknowledge the problem and you have to work towards it, guys. We can't run away from these social situations. We have to edge our way into it. You don't have to, you know, put yourself in front of 100 people and, you know, speak to this large audience, but work your way up. You know, start being comfortable with talking to one new person. You know, one new person might turn to 10 new people. You know, 10 new people might turn to 100. And, you know, before you know it, you're talking to a whole crowd of people. You know, that is how you work your way up. No great public speaker, no great socializing person, no great socializer or someone with great social confidence started with great social confidence. It was a skill that they built, you know, over the years, over months, that now they were in a position to be able to speak in front of so many people because they practiced it. You know, just like, you know, when you're working out, let's use this because I love fitness, and why not use this? All right, so when working out, the whole point of working out is that you want to work out a muscle, right? You want to tear down the muscle and repair it with more muscle fibers. So when you're working out a muscle, you know that when you want to work it out, if you want to get it bigger, if you want to work it out, you have to keep working at it. It's a skill. You have to keep building at it. With anything, you know, with video editing, no one starts out to be this great, you know, this awesome video editor. No, they started from rock bottom and they learned the skill and they kept going at it. They started practicing it every day. And that's why they're, you know, the great video photographer or whatever that they are today, because they practiced the skill. Socializing and becoming comfortable in these social situations is just the same thing. It's a skill. So you have to discipline yourself. You have to put yourself out and really, go out of your comfort zone, challenge yourself. And when you start to do this, you start to become more comfortable with yourself. And the things that scared you before aren't really scaring you anymore because you've practiced it. You've grown the skill to become more comfortable in these situations. Now, the third reason is that you have negative beliefs about yourself. You have some sort of negative self-image about yourself that makes you uncomfortable in social situations. If you didn't have any negative beliefs, if you didn't have any negative insecurities, you wouldn't be uncomfortable in social situations. There would be nothing to be uncomfortable about. You love yourself. You have positive emotions. You have positive beliefs about yourself. So there's nothing that comes up that makes you feel uncomfortable, if that makes sense. So this is why I think your beliefs and your thoughts and your emotions have such a big play in being more social and being more comfortable in social situations. When you work with your beliefs, when you work with the insecurities and the thoughts that are negative and that are bringing you down in these kind of situations, when you work at it, you're able to solve the problem. That's the real problem that you're trying to find. It's not you not being this social image. It's that you have negative beliefs about yourself, that you're not this social image, that you're not this confident person, that's bringing you down, that's making you uncomfortable when you go out to talk to people or when you go out to socialize. So really understand that. Really understand that your beliefs are what is making you uncomfortable. That's what's stopping you from talking to the person that you want. That's what's stopping you from making new friends or making any friends. That's what's stopping you from getting a job interview because you don't think you're capable enough, or that you think that you'll make an embarrassment of yourself. Those are all negative beliefs. Those are all negative thoughts that usually come from a negative self-image. It's a self-image that we have about ourselves, that we're not this capable image, that we're not good enough. And that's what's holding us back in these social situations. So I have a question. So what are any beliefs, what are any thoughts that you have about yourself that you can acknowledge? Acknowledge these beliefs, acknowledge these thoughts that you have that are negative about yourself, and become aware of that. And that, when you become aware of these things, that's when everything changes. You're then able to, realize them, acknowledge them, and you work towards changing them. Let's not focus too much on changing them right now, but let's just become aware that we have these thoughts, that we have these negative beliefs. What is that? What is stopping me? What is running my whole life? And I'm telling you guys, this is the key, guys. Once you guys are able to acknowledge these and become aware of these, you start to experience a whole different thing. You start to realize a whole part of you that you didn't know of before. Alright, so those are the 3 reasons on why we can't be ourselves in these social situations. Hopefully you guys got ways that you guys can fix that, or even insights for a better understanding on why we can't act like ourselves. I want to leave you guys with this, and that's a question. And that's, what can you do today that, either spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, any one of those, that will move you towards where you want to be in the future. Just one thing that you can do today that will get you towards your goals. That's going to end it here, guys. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely day. Remember that change happens only with a new expression. My name is Caleb, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.